Leather is used for a variety of things. It's used in our clothing, in our furniture, in our footwear. That's why when I heard about the Lagos Leather Fair happening here in Lagos, I decided to stop by and see how entrepreneurs are coping with the economic headwinds facing the country.
We are being creative in the way we are turning out the business model. We are being creative in terms of the materials that we use, even though most of our materials still rely on the dollar. But we try as much as possible to find a way to buy locally made materials as well. Sometimes it can be challenging in terms of the quality, but most of it we make it work. We use leather combined with ashoke. Ashoke is made here, even though we still buy the thread, and the thread relies on, the USD. But I think we're just finding creative ways of making things work.
One of the challenges we've faced so far, aside the dollar fluctuations, having to import some of the merchandise and some of the products we use to make the bags, the price of leather, of course, has increased slightly. Cost of goods has increased, so even our artisans that help us making the bags locally in Nigeria, they've had to hike their prices just to meet the growing demand of daily living in Nigeria. So I think the major thing for us really has just been the cost of producing locally in Nigeria, with the increase in dollar prices, the increase in cost of goods, generally trying to get our items into Nigeria. So for example, the tags we use on our bags, just to ensure that the right quality, dollar fluctuation means that the prices change on a regular basis. So we've tried to maintain our prices as low as possible, but these challenges keep on occurring and keep on cropping up as often as possible.
A major furniture manufacturer argues that there's a need to add more value to Nigeria's leather to reduce reliance on imports of finished goods.
If you're importing or you're producing $60 million worth of leather products, but you're importing $130 million of leather products into the country, you're working in deficit. That is not an industry. We're producing raw materials, we're not producing value-added products, so therefore there is no industry because we're not positioning ourselves to be able to maximize on those raw materials. And as long as it remains as raw material, that's simply what it is, raw material. And if we're also exporting our wet blues and we're bringing them back in at 2,000% markup from what we sold it for, we're losing a great deal of money. And it doesn't help those who are producing, leather goods when they have to bring in, Italian leather to produce a shoe for 60K and then sell it for how much market when the Italian guy is making 2,000% profit margins and you're making 10%. That is not an industry. What we're doing is we're getting busy, but we're not making profit, and it's unfortunate.
A Lagos-based business owner also highlights minimal support from relevant agencies as a production challenge.
At this point, we raise capital from inside the business. So we do things like ads. We do a lot of advertisements because you use money to make money. So when you say, I think that's basically how it comes in. The support comes in from people.
To mitigate the impact of the challenges facing the leather industry, a government agency official reiterates the need to ban the consumption of animal skin, locally known as pomo, and enforce tax breaks.
That leather policy provides tax holidays for those that want to invest in the sector. We use these raw hides as pomo. And if we eat our pomo, it's equivalent as eating our shoes. It's equivalent to eating our handbags and our belts. Okay? And that is why we have the campaign of against eating of pomo, and this, of course, campaign was launched here in Lagos.
In all, more efforts have to be made to protect this billion-dollar industry. Lillian Jijingi-Agudah, Arise News.